Help me ducks, Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. The days are rolling by and I'm here with another video. Yeah, so this deck that I'm about to show you is the Black Seed Tarot by Teresa Hutch. And it wasn't until we was doing Spotlight that Cheryl mentioned that this was the creator behind the White Sage Tarot, which I've had for almost 6 years. So I got this at the very end of 2018. And yeah, this is a lovely deck. Now, it was independently produced. So when I bought this, I love the backs, by the way. It's on the most lovely cardstock. There is a sheen to it. As you can see, it's animal and plant-based decks, hence it's called White Sage. But the artwork is just gorgeous. I mean, look at that, the King of Pentacles. Really, really lovely. And then at the beginning of 2019, US Games picked it up. And I don't know if you can still get the full deck, but they released it as a tarot in the tin, which I was really excited about. Tarot in the tin was all the rage back in the late teens. This is still in order. I've never actually used it, even though I bought it. I didn't find the quality of this very, very good at all. I prefer to use, oh, look at that, for the Hermit. I prefer to use a full-size deck. It is quite pippish, but yeah, everybody, or it seemed that everybody loved the White Sage Tarot, and there was a lot of buzz around it. I don't know if she's released any more decks in between, Teresa that is, and like I said, I don't know if this has now been picked up by US Games as well, but when I bought this, it was an independent, and then their release of it was in the tin. So fast forward 6 years, and here we are in 2024 with the Black Seed Tarot, and this has been released by US Games, and it looks like the same fantastic artwork. I do like the kind of, it's like we've got the black and the white, so the White Sage, the Black Seed. Cheryl did mention the other day it's hard to find many black seeds in this, but I think, you know, it's trying to release an opposite version of the White Sage. So let's see what it says on the back. Everything starts with a seed. Inspired by the multiple health benefits associated with black cumin seed, Black Seed Tarot reminds us to nurture the seeds of positivity, particularly love and compassion. Charming animal guides in playful scenes invite us to create heart connections with the lessons of tarot and nature. Each card, painted in Teresa's signature watercolour style, is associated with one of the 7 chakras to help us understand the energetic and spiritual aspects of our human motivations. It's a 78 card deck, it's a 105 page guidebook. And yeah, so it was a little bit confusing because it's black seed, and as I said, there's not many black cumin seeds in here, but it's a chakra deck. So personally, I would have thought it would have been better to kind of brand it around that, but I think it's, like I said, it's to link it to the White Sage. It's even got a chakra chart card. So anyway, let's have a look. Let's bring the camera down and we'll take a close-up look. Okay, so like the indie version, this was in a glossy box, as you can see, 2-part box. And this is in a 2-part box as well, and it's US Games seem to have adopted this style now rather than just the thumb cutouts. It's like this design, and I quite like it. It is in a matte sturdy 2-part box, but very easy, he says. It was very easy to pull apart. I didn't have a problem on Saturday, but yeah, so you can hear it's a very sturdy box. This is the guidebook, was it 104 pages, did it say? Yes, it will be 104 pages. Only because it's got that information on the back. But anyway, you get a page for each card. You've got your upright meaning and reverse meaning, and then the association with the chakra. And this is what I mean, it's very much linked to chakras rather than a plant or a herb. But I mean, look at that strength card looks brilliant. See what it says at the beginning, water the right seeds. So you get your introduction and then you're straight into major and minor and about the artist. Introduction, black seeds. For years I've listened to a little voice whisper to me, when are you going to make your next tarot deck? When you make your next tarot deck, it will be called Black Seed Tarot. The deck will be a complement to your first deck, White Sage Tarot, as yin complements yang. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. I remember wondering if black seeds were a thing, and if so, what were their healing qualities? And then she went down to her favourite local herb shop, Present Moment Herbs and Books in Minneapolis, to find out. They informed me that black seeds are another name for black cumin seeds. Okay, so then she talks about black cumin seeds, the cover art, the chakra connections. Here's all the chakras, and then we go straight into the cards. So nice little companion book. This is the bottom tray. It's like a salmon pink. We do have the chakra cards, the chakra card here. So on this side, it's linking to the tarot suits, is it? The crown, doesn't really, it just goes through Muladhara, all the way through the chakras. On this side, it's stripped back a little bit, root, grounding, pelvis, emotional, whereas it gives you the names of the chakras here and the symbols, etc. Each tarot card has a chakra connection. They are shown throughout the guidebook with the individual card descriptions. Okay, so a handy little guide if you're wanting to know about chakras and then how it links to the deck. These are the backs. What were the backs like on? Oh, I like the backs on this. It was that crisscross, almost like that rattan garden furniture it reminded me of in the White Sage. Cards, they're smaller now, which is unusual because US games normally give you quite a decent card size. And I think this is a standard tarot. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is a standard tarot size. So the black seed is actually more of a smaller card, both in height and width, as you can see here. We have the kind of flower of life design there as well. Everything else is pretty much the same. We've got that white band at the bottom. And it's got a number. Oh yeah, it's the same. You can see here, look, it's done in the same design, so it does complement each other. It's just strange really that they're a different size, because I'd imagine people kind of mixing and matching, but you can't do that, and maybe that's the intention, not to do that, who knows. But anyway, shall we do a side by side? I might pause, put this in order, and we'll do a side by side. That could be fun. Okay, so we're starting with our Fool. In the White Sage, we had this little doggy. It kind of gave me a nod to the Fool's dog, actually, but he is, you know, setting off on an adventure. Here we have a flying squirrel in the Black Seed. I think it is going to be one of those where I think, oh yeah, I prefer this card over this card. The Magician, we've got the kind of all-seeing eye and this feather. I do love this, kind of reminds me of like the Mad Hatter or something like that. The White Rabbit that took Alice to the Mad Hatter's tea party. And I know a lot of people don't like animals dressed up as humans, but I don't mind it. I love the little rainbow lemniscate here. It's like he's on a coffee machine. Yeah, he's got the Dormo, the coffee, the little scoop. Yeah, so he's making a coffee. Our High Priestess. We've gone from feline to canine. Excuse me. Let me just have a sip of my coffee. Beautiful. I do like the black seed version here. I love the pomegranate. A little fire in the third eye. I like the moon in the background, the reflection on the water. Here's our Empress. Both are lovely. But I do love this bear. The Emperor. I think I prefer the black seed there. Our Hierophant. Both got a key. I do wish these were exactly the same size. I think it would be and perhaps the same back or a similar design back. Particularly, she said she was creating a counterpart to the deck. This is nice. The Lovers is both a water-based scene with our seahorses or our dolphins. I prefer the dolphins, I think. Our Chariot. Oh, I love this strength. This strength is just gorgeous. Really love it. Whereas I love this Hermit. Really love the Hermit. I do like I mean, there's the star there, but I do like the addition of the lantern in this black seed. But we have an Egyptian theme for both of Wheel of Fortune cards, which is interesting. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card, the weighing of the heart and the feather by Anubis. We do have a sloth included in this one, but it's the Hangman position now rather than the Hermit. And the Hangman here has this this caterpillar that will burst into, will go through a metamorphosis and become a butterfly. Now I mean, these are both beautiful death cards, but I really always loved the death card in the White Sage, this tunnel. We often hear of that, don't we, of near-death experience survivors who talk about a tunnel with a light at the end. And it's something I really liked about that image. We don't see that very often in a death card. This is beautiful as well, with the spirit leaving the body. It's hard to choose there. We have Temperance, both beautiful. And then we that one's kind of more comical. We have the Serpent here, and we often like the Lovers, you know, we often refer to biblical references, and this very much gives me that, you know, the tree of knowledge, the apple, yeah. one thing I really appreciate as well is the, I don't know what happened with the tin, because US Games used to put their copyright everywhere as well, but the copyright is on every card in every image on the White Sage, and that doesn't happen now. Looking at the tin, no, it's not on the tin. It's taken off the tin version. You never know with US Games back then. They're a lot better now. The tower. I really like this tower. Not just because it's got a duck in it either. The star. And then we have the moon. We have an Egyptian theme again. I like this. I mean, it's got a moth, which I like the moon here. The sun. There's that tabby cat that we saw in the other deck earlier. I think these decks do complement each other well. Sometimes with an artist, they'll bring out another deck and it looks almost completely different from the first, but this very much has its own theme. I know there's a reference to the chakras, but it's not evident in the images. You have to look in the book for that. So that's our majors, and we're going into our wands now with the ace. So it's less pippish because the White Sage is a very pippish deck. As you can see here, 2 wands, you've literally got 2 branches, whereas we're keeping with the animal themes here. 3 of wands is looking out, you can tell by the position, so it's fitting more with an RWS, whereas this fits more with a pip deck, like a Marseille deck. The 4, I'll go a little bit quicker through the minors, being as you know, just looking at pips really for the White Sage. Oh, that's a lovely 9 of wands. Again, much more in keeping with the RWS symbolism. Gorgeous fox in the page, for the page. Looks like we're keeping a theme in the Black Seed for the courts. We've got foxes for the suits of the wands. This is off the cover of the White Sage. I think it's the King of Cups, it's the colour on the Black Seed. And then we have our Ace of Cups, little bunny, look, how cute is that? Whoops. We got the koi for the 2. Oh, enjoying a tea party. Gorgeous 4 of Cups. So in terms of the minors, I'm preferring the Black Seed. I don't mind pips, but I always prefer to have a scenic illustration really. Wow, that's interesting for the 7 of Cups. They're very soft and delicate, the images, you know, it said distinctive watercolours, but they're very subtle. almost like pastel in some cards. Gorgeous 9 of cups, just look at that. Yes, it looks like we have seals. Could be sea lions, but whereas it's otters in the white sage. Look how gorgeous that is. I mean, they both are, aren't they? So it was the Queen, actually. It's the Queen off the front cover of the book. It's on the box. It's the High Priestess, isn't it? And our King. And then we have the swords. That's clever. That really is clever. Now their horns are making the cross shape of the swords. As they're rutting there. With the crescent moon in both. Wow. It's already been pierced, look. Or is that just illustrating where the heart is? Yeah, that's the heart. Reminds me of that that old fable about the bird that plunged a thorn into his own heart so that the rose would turn red. And the person who took the red rose was never aware of the sacrifice that was made. Can't remember where I know that story from. Might even been from church days years ago, but talking about sacrifice and how we're not always aware of the sacrifices that have been made. If anybody knows the name of the story, leave it below. Look at that little bear rowing for the 6. I kind of wish, because I prefer the illustrations in Black Seed, but I kind of wish the cards were bigger. I wish we'd got this in this size, standard tarot size. Be interesting to see if it comes out in a tin, like White Sage did by US Games. Oops, not the camera. Like we have kingfishers. And cats, big cats. Not sure if they're, what type they are. Might be lion cubs, I'm not sure. There's no leopard print or tiger stripes. So there's a Black Seed for our Ace of Pentacles. Oh, we've got, oh yeah, no, ignore me. Got Canadian geese. Ah, I love this guy. 4 pentacles, little squirrel. And that's what squirrels do, isn't it? Ready for hibernation. And a little mole. It's almost like a Beatrix Potter feel, some of the images. Beautiful. Oh, little hedgehogs. Aren't they just the most cutest things? Anything with, I mean, I love elephants as well, but hedgehogs are just gorgeous. Look at these elephants. This is one of my favourite court cards ever. So that's that. That's the Black Seed Tarot. Which I'll pop there. And the White Sage Tarot. Both are beautiful. Pluses and minuses for me are, let's move that there a second. Pluses and minuses, I prefer the card size. Card stock is more or less the same, feels the same. This is a little bit thinner, but then, yeah, a little bit thinner by about that many cards. This one does feel more durable, but that's US Games cardstock, whereas this was independently sourced cardstock. Yeah, so I like the card size here. However, I prefer a more fully illustrated minus. But they're much of a muchness, you know. I'm happy with both. Both are gorgeous. Both you can really see Teresa's art style coming through. I think even if Cheryl hadn't have mentioned, because it's been so long since this deck come out, where she said, oh, this is the same creator that did White Sage Tarot, I think doing this walkthrough, as I would be going through this, the penny would have dropped, because she, you know, her art style is quite recognizable. So yeah, that's the two side by side. Let me know your thoughts on Black Seed Tarot. And I'd imagine there's a lot of people out there that's got White Sage. Do you think it's, you know, a great addition? I love the fact, like I said, that we've gone from pips to illustrated images for each of the suits. But let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.